Oh, the fringe. One of the people in today's reading lived on the fringe of society. She'd been outcast due to the version of religious freedom laws of the time. She was forced to live away from people because people didn't want to have their religious liberties threatened by being kind to a person who didn't fit their rules. There was no opportunity to order a cake or to sit down at a local restaurant. The rule said that she was to remove herself from contact with others and to sit in her shame. She may have even had to live in the outskirts of town where the garbage burned and the rats were all around, a place called Gehenna. It's the very real place on earth that is translated as hell in the New Testament. But Jesus didn't play that game. This woman who lived on the fringe thought that if she could just touch the fringe on Jesus' clothes, she would be better. It was common then for people in a synagogue to touch the hem, the fringe, the tzitzit of a rabbi's robe to receive a blessing or even healing. So the rabbi would walk through the congregation and people would reach out and touch the fringe, the tzitzit. So she did. She rebelled against the shaming culture. She reached out from the fringe to touch the fringe, the tzitzit. And Jesus turned around and said, "How dare you infringe on my religious liberty? The rules of my religion say you must separate yourself from others, and by coming close to me, you have persecuted me. Shame on you. I must refuse to serve you. With my deeply held religious beliefs as my weapon, it is my right, it is my duty." Oh yeah, no, he didn't. He said, "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace, be healed of your disease." Because that's the kind of thing Jesus does. He was a lawbreaker. Today's reading is riddled with lawbreakers. A synagogue leader sought the help of an obvious rabble-rouser and probably a heretic. The woman labeled as perpetually unclean touched the fringe of this rabble-rousing rabbi's gown. The rabble-rousing rabbi, I love alliteration. Let's say it all together. Rabble-rousing rabbi. The rabble-rousing rabbi spoke kindly and restoratively to an obviously sinful woman. The rabble-rousing rabbi reached out, more alliteration, and touched a dead girl. And, not written in the text, but after being told to keep quiet, we know that nobody did. Jesus was about healing, wholeness, kindness, restoration, and love. He wasn't about letting any law get in the way of doing that. When the law keeps folks from offering and receiving healing, wholeness, kindness, restoration, and love, then the law is no good. So, may we be a people who live with the love of Jesus. May we be lawbreakers. But that's too easy. It's too easy to take anything a person or a community disagrees with and then say that it's bad, and then the law is bad, and then seek to be lawbreakers, right? A pharmacist who not only refused to dispense prescribed medication to a woman, but gave her a lecture and feigned accommodations about not having another employee in the store dispense the medicine, but forcing the woman to travel to another pharmacy, that isn't about liberty, but rather denying somebody their liberty. The cake baker's refusal to bake a cake does not permit all to refuse service to others. But in today's culture, so many folks act as if it does. Requesting that someone leave your restaurant because they work for your adversary communicates revenge and anger rather than living out the spirit of the law. And anytime someone tries to pull out the "it's against my deeply held religious beliefs" phrase to keep them from treating all in fairness and respect is just garbage. That's not what Jesus taught or what he lived. Standing up to corruption, marginalization, and injustice is what Christians do. Demonizing others for living, demonizing others and living for revenge on your enemies is not what Christians do. We need to be about healing, wholeness, kindness, restoration, and love. We are and shall continue to be about this. Remember this, in the spirit of Christ's teaching, and to affirm our commitment and covenant to live the teachings of the gospel every day. Peace Memorial Church, UCC, welcomes you. We welcome you regardless of your race, ethnicity, or country of origin. We welcome you if you are single, married, divorced, gay, straight, transgender, rich, or poor. We welcome you if you are young or old or anywhere in between. We extend a special welcome to crying newborns and 100-year-old great-grandparents. We welcome you if you have a disability of any kind, physical or mental, the healthy and the afflicted, those in recovery and those still addicted. We welcome you if you can sing like Caruso or Aretha Franklin, and even if you can't carry a tune in a bushel basket. We extend a special welcome if you are just visiting or shopping, if you're not into organized religion, or even if you're Catholic or Lutheran, or the last time you went to church was your niece's baptism in 1974. Please feel welcome if you are a vegetarian or a carnivore, Republican or Democrat. We at Peace Memorial Church recognize the differences among us, the diversity that is in God's creation. We believe that we can share God's love for us with one another, recognizing our similarities and our diversity. We invite all people to join us in our journey of faith, living by God's will and God's kingdom here on earth, creating a world filled with love, understanding, and mutual respect, and hospitality for all. We want you to know that at Peace Memorial Church, all God's creatures have a place at the table. We need to live out God's vision for Peace Memorial Church. And we had discussions about that, and we don't really have a statement yet that grew out of that, but we're working on it. By the fall, let's say August, summer, in that time frame, we'll be able to present, a smaller group will be able to present a statement that came from all of those gatherings that we had, those season of visioning gatherings just a few weeks ago. We need to seek out and live God's vision for Peace Memorial Church. We're an open and affirming congregation of the United Church of Christ, but that's not all that we are, and it's not all that we can be. We have to live into that, yes, and be louder. We also have to live out life as a congregation that seeks to be accessible to all, that seeks to be supportive of mental health, that seeks to work within the confines of the way that we can to be environmentally good stewards of energy, of cups, of all of that. There is so much that we get to do, so many opportunities to live out God's love. We get to tell people about Peace Memorial Church, about God's love and grace that is unconditional and eternal, and invite them to be part of all of it. And when people come and visit, let people know that the us gets bigger. Voices are important. Presence is important. We're all part of Christ's table. And when laws or rules serve to marginalize or otherwise keep people from having equal rights and equal access, remember, they aren't good laws or good rules. And if a group who are in power are then put on more equal footing than those who were marginalized by the rules or laws, then the group who was in power and is now on more equal footing with people who were marginalized, that group in power is not being persecuted. They're experiencing equality instead of oligarchy. Jesus neither had time for, nor did he follow the rules that marginalized people. He did call out bad rules or bad interpretations of rules. Jesus was and is about wholeness, kindness, restoration, and love. Healing. Amen.